Radio and Sirius XM Channel 80, everybody. It is NFL Draft Week. It's our only show from Los Angeles of the week. We will be joining you from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday of this week. And then, of course, it comes down to the first pick in the draft to be revealed on Thursday night. I'll be on the NFL Network. Draft set for Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. Gavel-to-gavel coverage. I'll be here from pick one to pick last in my 21st year of covering the NFL Draft gavel-to-gavel for the NFL Network. And the first name that we expect to hear is the first guest we're having on the program today to kick off Draft Week, Fernando Mendoza, everybody here on the program. Casey Concepcion will be joining us on this show as well. The man who I believe will be writing in the name. If he did have a pen back in the day, general managers might have actually written something down for the NFL to read out on a draft night. John Spytek, the general manager of the Las Vegas Raiders, is on this program. And then in hour number 3, ladies and gentlemen, from The Ringer, we'll have our friend Todd McShay here in person. 844-204-RICH is the number to dial right here on this show. The NBA playoffs, the NHL playoffs are off and running. Major League Baseball, so much to talk about on this program. TJ Jefferson isn't here yet. He's still coming back from WrestleMania. His
en route. Yeah.
His plane was delayed a bit. I believe he's now in the air. He will be here on this program. And as soon as he joins us, I don't care what he did at WrestleMania. We'll be talking about the Mets 11-game losers. I would stay tuned for this. Again, he's in the air. He doesn't know what's going to hit him as soon as he walks in the door. And it would be great if he walked in with a neck brace. That would be outstanding.
That would be pretty funny.
Good to see you, Chris Brockman.
Rich, I'm great. It's draft week. It's Marathon Monday. The Red Sox aren't losing right now, so life is good.
Well, I mean, they've been losing a lot lately. So
it hasn't been great.
And but at any rate, Overreaction Monday, Chris Brockman and I have recorded it. It's out there for everybody to take in on your RSS feeds, wherever you get your podcast, or our YouTube channel. Good to see you, Mike Del Tufo.
Good morning, Rich.
How are you?
How you doing?
Speaking of Marathon Monday in Boston, one of my favorite things of this morning, in between tapings of Overreaction Monday and getting ready for this program, was Mike talking about his cross-country track days and following the exploits of those running the marathon in Boston. It's great. Mike Del Tufo, the long-distance running expert of the Rich Eisen Show. I'm the short-distance running expert.
That's true.
St. Jude.org/runrichrun.
You have the 40 yards covered.
I got that.
And Mike has 26.2 miles covered.
Correct. And in between, none of us can run.
Not now.
For real.
Oh, no.
All right.
Ain't going there.
844-204-RICH, number to dial on the program. We already have our first draft trade of note, to say the least.
Yeah, we do.
We're wondering how many trades there are going to be in the top 10. I think that was a what's more likely construct. This might count as that, even though it's not on draft night. But the New York Giants, their issues in getting Dexter Lawrence name on a contract, their out defensive tackle and holdout defensive tackle and standoff between they and he have led to the boon for the Cincinnati Bengals. Dexter Lawrence, who's been described since he's come off the campus of Clemson as a unicorn right there in the middle of a defensive line, up there with Jeffrey Simmons, up there with Chris Jones, up there with anybody in terms of pass rushing and run stuffing and double teams faced. He's now a Cincinnati Bengal. And the Bengals, for the first time in the common draft era, since 1966, since the AFL and the NFL said, let's draft together. For the first time in that era, the Cincinnati Bengals have coughed up a first-round draft choice.
Wow.
For a player. This is a first for them, according to ESPN research. First time the Bengals have traded, a top 10 pick for a player in the common draft era. That's how rare this is for the Bengals. And it's the same ownership group. It's the Brown family.
Yep.
And what this means, let's take it from the Bengals' point of view first. I have all these stats here from NFL Network research sent out to me on an email that I won't have anymore by the end of this month. But Dexter Lawrence, most double teams faced on pass rushes last 5 seasons. Only Dexter Lawrence leads that list. 1,103 double teams faced on pass rushes the last 5 seasons. Jeffrey Simmons, second. Third, his new teammate, B.J. Hill in Cincinnati.
Oh.
And that's where I will stop by reading all these stats. Trust me, Dexter Lawrence is one of the best in the business at his position. But this is the Bengals telling Joe Burrow, we mean business. Yes, you're not probably terribly happy that Trey Hendrickson didn't get paid by us to keep us, and he's now going to be a guy you're trying to avoid twice a year in purple for the Ravens. And if Burrow is at all, in any way, shape, or form, sitting there going, what are you doing? I'm sick and tired of trying to win games 41-40.
Yeah.
I'm sick and tired of putting everything on my shoulder here. I'm sick and tired of getting hurt by not being protected because I keep on being thrown out there, trying to fade back, catch up because the defense isn't that very damn good. In any way, shape, or form, if he's sitting there and thinking, I don't want to be here anymore, based on all of his sudden press conference moments where he appears to be thinking about life in general.
His future.
Happiness, future, all that business. Here you go, Joe. 2 guys, B.J. Hill, Dexter Lawrence, right there in the middle. Good luck, Derrick Henry, trying to run through that. Good luck, anybody trying to run through that. Good luck, anybody trying to double team either of these guys. They are leading the league in double teams faced. You can't double both of them and expect to avoid our pass rush. That's one way to tell Joe Burrow, if you're thinking of pulling a Carson Palmer, not yet. Let's see how it works. And as for the Giants, hey, 5th and 10th overall picks, not too shabby.
Sold. Yeah.
Not too shabby. Absolutely. If you're sitting there hand wringing over which Ohio State guy we're going to take at 5, guess what? That guy might be still available at 10. Guess what? You want to move up for somebody? You want to package these two together? I don't think they're going to do that. I don't think there's really anybody that they would want to go get. 5 and 10. Crazy thing is 5th and 10th overall pick to move up to take the 1st overall pick is something that you're in the neighborhood of, but they don't need the 1st overall pick. 5 and 10's not too bad if you're trying to fill some spots for a young team. And you're a ball coach like John Harbaugh, wanting somebody maybe on the back end of your defense. You want Caleb. If they thought, well, we really want Caleb Downs, but we just can't take him at 5 positionally. How about 10? That's where everybody was putting him. Downs to the Bengals at 10. Yep. Now, instead of having a young guy on the back end of the defense for Cincinnati, they got a big stud right there up in the middle. Although, you're already hearing Giants, words coming out of Giants camp, or at least people associated with knowledge of the situation. Dexter Lawrence had a downswing year last year. Didn't want to pay him. 1 year, $28 million spread out over 3 years is what made Dexter Lawrence happy enough to say, I'll be a Cincinnati Bengal. Giants didn't want to do it. Now they're going to have 2 kids on rookie contracts, 5th year of contractual control. Do you add 2 pieces to your defense? Do you add 1 on offense, 1 on defense? Do you add 1 Ohio State guy on offense, 1 on defense? Do you add an offensive lineman? They have a bunch of flexibility right there. So I like the move for both teams. Bengals fans who might be like, man, 10th overall pick, we just flipped it for a guy who had one of his worst years, just a half a sack, 8 quarterback hits, 4 tackles for loss. That's a guy that we traded the 10th overall pick for. Last year was last year. The rest of the other years, he's been spectacular in Dexter Lawrence. Sexy Dexy is coming to Cincinnati rather than a kid on the back end. This is a way to say to Joe Burrow, we mean business, which is the most important thing to indicate to your guy before he goes full Carson Palmer on you if he wants to or is thinking of doing. And for the Giants, 2 kids, top of the food chain kids in the draft. One of 6 teams now, including their co-tenants in the Jets, to have multiple first-round choices. We'll see what happens. And then there's the other news today, the latest. And again, when Adam Schefter says something, people listen. He's the E.F. Hutton of the NFL media world, as I've been calling him since he joined NFL Network all those years ago.
Fact.
Yep. In his deep dive piece, putting out all his notebook thoughts and rumors and conjecture and things that he hears, pointing out that it's now likely that A.J. Brown goes to the Patriots at the end of the day. The end of the day being June 1st. Because again,
you don't say.
This is June 1st, a date by which the Eagles will have some better standing salary cap wise to flip number 11 to New England, where he's a perfect fit. That's why that makes sense. I don't know what the draft compensation is going to be. One would think Howie would take the 31st overall pick this year and some other draft compensation for A.J. Brown right now. But the cap considerations need to be considered. And one also thinks that maybe Dontavian Wicks and Hollywood Brown being acquired by Philadelphia sets the stage for them feeling more comfortable to flip A.J. Brown elsewhere, which doesn't make sense unless there is something beneath the surface that requires them to get him out. If he is asked to be out, if he is demanded to be out, they have somehow kept that part of the iceberg beneath ear and eye level. Makes complete sense for the New England Patriots. And again, for the Eagles, I would imagine if they do get a first-round pick from New England, they'll assume, with all due respect to you, sir,
it's a little bit better than
it'll be
year.
better than 31st overall. That New England's not making the Super Bowl in back-to-back seasons.
I would think that's a likely
Although A.J. Brown is that guy for New England. I mean, I mentioned it on the Overreaction Monday pod. I might as well bring it here to what we refer to as the flagship show. It's tough to use this analogy because of the guy I'm about to compare him to. Because we have seen before a Super Bowl participating New England quarterback. Notice how I phrase that. Getting a beast of a wide receiver outside the numbers to flip 50-50 balls to, and also having the ability to go across the middle and be a matchup nightmare for both of those routes. We've seen that before, certainly when he's added to a receiver room that otherwise isn't a bold-faced name group of receivers, now that Stephon Diggs is certainly gone. But I just remember when Randy Moss was added to the Tom Brady, Josh McDaniels coordinated offense and how that worked.
Ooh, that was fun.
50 touchdowns for Tom and 23 for Randy Moss. And I'm not saying that May is Brady, that he's going to throw for 50 if he gets A.J. Brown, and that A.J. Brown's going to catch 23 of Drake May's 50, or at least half of his touchdown passes.
Sure.
But he could. He could catch half of Drake May's touchdown passes. And one thing that Drake May did in year 2, when he became a grown-ass man, was throw a deep ball that many of our colleagues and analysts who came on, I think Kurt Warner called it like a handoff.
Like a handoff. Yeah.
And that's a compliment that Kurt doesn't usually throw out there. So we've now reached the it's likely going to happen scenario. And again, I don't know what's going on in Philadelphia, but if there is something between the quarterback and the wide receiver, they're certainly not going to get rid of the quarterback, even though some Eagles fans would be like, why not? I get it.
Yeah.
But that just is not going to happen.
No.
I mean,
No.
cap-wise and things of that nature, certainly if you can get a wide receiver off your books of that significant pay and you can get a significant draft compensation for him, and think that Dontavian Wicks and Hollywood Brown together could surpass what A.J. Brown gave you last year, and Wicks could grow into the role. I mean, I'm talking my way into this here. I just don't think A.J. Brown being dealt is what's best for the Eagles, but I'm also not in the building, and I'm not privy to everything that's going on there, and I don't know who is. I mean, other than, a handful of players in that locker room and keep their mouths shut, Big Dom, who makes sure everybody's mouth is shut.
Mm-hmm.
So those are two big stories. There are some other ones too, obviously, getting ready for draft week, Aaron Rodgers' readiness or not. There's also, conversations being bandied about the Chiefs' plans to move up, who's ready to move up, who's not. So much to talk about. Todd McShay in studio hour number 3. John Spytek, who holds the cards in Vegas, from which everybody will be playing third base, hitting or staying based on the moves that the first guy who gets the cards. Trying to keep on going with this analogy right here.
Keep going.
He's getting ready to hit the point, roll the bones.
Now we're talking.
He's first up in hour number 2, but first up on this program is the guy we're all expecting to hear first being mentioned. His name is Fernando Mendoza. What a perfect way for us to start this program.